Hey y'all, it's me, Charming, and my hair's back, my hands are washed. Let's get to cooking. Well, let's get to preserving, okay? What I want to do is, something sticky there. I want to finish cutting and freezing those potatoes we got a while back. Yeah, let me bring it over here and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, the first cut I want to do is, some people call them waffle fries, some people call them crosscut or criss-cut fries. Either way, they're really good. So what you need is, hang on, let me bring this up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. You need a mandolin. And that mandolin needs to have a blade like this. It's a wavy blade. It's not the grating blade. It's a wavy blade. Okay. I made the mistake of putting my pokey thingy in the dishwasher and it kind of melted it. So I had to get me one of these gloves. Okay. So okay, which way is that? That's going that way. So now I need to go this way. So what you do is you cut, then you turn your potato like a quarter of a turn. Cut again. It's hard because I'm going slow. Cut again. Turn. Cut. Cut again. Quarter turn. I go back and forth. I don't keep going around like a clock. I go back and forth. Okay, and that they come out like this. Okay. The faster you can go, oh my goodness, the better they come out. Sorry, my mandolin is 20 years old. So, yeah, I need to get a new one. Yes, I really do. Okay, that's as far as I can go with that potato. Okay, that's how you do that. Now, like with mine, since mine is so old, it's not perfect. You know, they go in, the lines go in opposite directions. See? It's going this way, going that way. But it doesn't always make the, well, doesn't always make the holes over the whole potato. It's the same thing. It doesn't really matter anyway because it tastes the same. But anyways, I've got a few more potatoes that I'm going to cut this way and then we'll move on to the next one after I show you how to preserve these. Okay, so let's go over here. I have my deep fryer going, or heating up. And yes, my deep fryer my deep fryer, is also about 20 years old. So, this adorable little thing gets super duper hot, but it doesn't have a temperature regulator on it. So it just keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And yeah. So after I do a few loads in that, I kind of have to turn it off and let it cool down a little bit, and then plug it back in and go from there. Okay, let me get my setup ready here. Okay, I have a plate with some paper towels on it. Let's see, plate with some paper towels, and I've got my little spider thingy to scoop them out. I also use that to put the potatoes in. So let's do this. Okay, that's about how much I put in at once. Yes, I hear it sizzling, so that should be good. It should be hot enough. Okay, if you're going to freeze these like I am, you don't want them to get brown, so I'm just going to cook them for about 2.5 minutes. Hopefully they won't brown in that amount of time. They'll get mostly cooked all the way through, but they won't be browned. And at that point, they're good to go in the freezer after you cool them off. Okay, I'll be back when these are ready to come out. Okay, I changed my mind. These are all floating now, so I think they're done enough to come out, cool down, go in the freezer. Okay. There's no color on them at all yet. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing this until I get all my cut potatoes cooked. Or I would say blanched, but this is oil, not water, so cooked. Okay, I'll be back. Oh, by the way, you can absolutely do this in a skillet with some oil. You don't have to have a deep fryer. Okay, there's how many waffle fries we got out of that. Now I just got to let them cool down so I can put them in bags. I'm going to mark the bags, of course, so I'll know what they are. And we'll go on to the next one. Okay, I'm back. Next cut we're going to do is French fries. French fries. Oh, wait a minute. Got to put my glove on, because this blade is sharp, and every time I've used it so far, I have cut myself. So I'm putting my glove on this time, because I usually don't. But I don't want to bleed on the video, so. My hand's kind of wet, so it's a little bit hard to get this glove on. Alright, yes, I did dry it off. It just, you know, a little moisture lingers. Okay, for French fries, I like to use the short potatoes. Sometimes I'll use the longer potatoes, but they don't fit well in this, and I like to use my chopper for it. I'm using the bigger blade. And I just put it on there and push it down, and this is usually where I cut myself, is when I'm pushing it down. And then I finish it off. And it makes short French fries, but hey, it's French fries. Who cares if they're long ones or short ones? If you want the longer ones, you can either cut them by hand or get you a regular French fry chopper, because they do make those, you know. But since I've got this, I didn't want to go out and spend money on getting one of those French fry choppers. See, I'm using some longer potatoes. Just keep that unprotected hand back. Okay, now in order to freeze French fries, you do the same thing you did with the waffle fries. You fry them in oil just a little bit. You don't want them to get brown. You want them to stay as white as they are, but yeah. Oh, and why am I doing that? Let's get these back. I hold it on there with my unprotected hand, and I just kind of tap it with my protected hand, and that's so that when I do this, it'll stay straight instead of going all crooked. And see, that's how easy it is to make French fries. Of course, you could use the smaller grid blade if you like more like a shoestring potato. That I do when I'm doing potato chunks for Potatoes O'Brien. Or for, well, sometimes I do this size grid for the potatoes that I want to fry, just plain potatoes. But sometimes I like them smaller. It's all personal preference. And here's my last potato. And that's how fast that is. Now I gotta go plug my fryer back in. I unplugged it after I finished the waffle fries. Now I gotta plug it back in, let it heat up, and then we'll fry these. Okay, my French fries are all cut. My oil is hot. So now I'm just gonna drop in about that many at a time. And again, I've got a heat-proof plate with some paper towels. And these, you don't want them to get color on them. You just want them to get mostly done. Okay. They're mostly floating. See, no color. Well, very little color. And that's all you do. And then once we get all these fried, we will let them cool off and bag them and put them in the freezer. I'll be back. Okay, all the fries are fried. And that's how much we got. And that's just a regular old, regular plate. A Corelle plate. Okay, now I'm going to set those aside and let them cool while we get started on the next one. Okay, next we're going to do some tater tots. So I've got some whole potatoes in this pot. I'm going to boil them. I'm going to set my timer for 16 minutes because that's about how long it takes it to come up to a boil and soften up enough to work with. Okay. Let me set the timer. Okay, and I'll be back when these have gotten just slightly soft. Actually, the best way to time it is when it comes to a boil, boil for 6 minutes. I'll be back. Okay, next is chunks. And that's all I do, and I'm using the big grid. Once I get these all cut, I'm going to blanch them for about 2 minutes in boiling water. And I'm almost done already. And okay. Now the potatoes I boiled are elsewhere, cooling off so that I can handle them. And these, there's my boiling water. We're going to blanch these real quick. Once those come back to a boil, I'll let them boil for about 2 minutes, and then I'll take them out and let them cool. And we'll go on to the next thing, which will be potatoes O'Brien. I put this on upside down. Okay, so for that, I'm going to change my blade to the small one. Let me go find it. I find it. Okay, clip that in. These are really small potatoes, so I'm just gonna cut them in half, put them on there. And then see, these are really tiny. Okay, so I'm gonna cut all these potatoes and I'm gonna blanch them as well. Once they're all blanched, I'll be back. Okay, there goes the alarm. All right, got my glove back on. And as you see, I have a grater this time. I gotta grate these potatoes so I can make the, what do you call it? Tater tots. Tater tots, and I need to make a couple hash browns for my brother's breakfast. Okay, I'm sure you know how to grate. And that's all you gotta do. And these did cook for about 5 minutes. Okay, I will be back when these are all grated. Okay, all those potatoes are shredded. So now let's season this up. Garlic powder. Onion powder. It smells good already. Pepper. Salt. And cornstarch. Wow, that's just flinging all over the place. Okay. Now we just mix that all together. Okay, now in the video I made on, I forget what day it was, but it was about making hash brown patties. So if you remember that one, I said that this could be used for hash browns or tater tots. This time we're going to do tater tots. Just take a little bit and shape it into a tot. Okay, there's a tot. So I'm going to make several tots, and I'm going to make 4 hash brown patties out of this mixture. Okay. And I'll be back when I get these all shaped the way I want them to show you what we do next. Okay, I've got all my stuff shaped. I got 4 hash brown patties and 15 tater tots. So now we have to fry them up a little bit, then let them cool, and package them and freeze them. And the reason I'm doing this in a skillet instead of in the deep fryer is, for some weird reason, they fall apart in the deep fryer. I don't know why. Okay, so we'll let those cook for just about 2 minutes on each side. And these, it's okay if they get a little bit brown. You just don't want them completely done. Just slightly brown. Let me get my plate ready. And it'll be the same, just a plate with some paper towels on it. And I'll be back when I take these out. Okay, here's how they turned out. These are going to be put in meal prep breakfast for my brother. These are going in the freezer. Now, for all of these, all you have to do is either fry them in a skillet with a good amount of oil, or deep fry them, or bake them, or air fry them, just like you would any other store-bought version of this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide these up into these 2 bags. I've already dated them and marked on there what they are. And then I'll get on with the next one. Okay, there's the plain French fries. And you know, if I would have been thinking, I would have used my vacuum sealer to seal these. But I didn't think about it. There's enough fries in here. I would say that's a good 2 servings. At least 2 servings. Well, if you're counting servings like I'm allowed to eat, that would be 4. There we go. So there's 2 packages of French fries. Next, I'll do the waffle fries. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use a 1/2 gallon zip top bag. And I'm going to put the date and what it is. And I'm calling these waffle fries. You can call them cross-cut fries, crisp-cut fries, waffle fries, whatever you want to call them. And these are completely cooled. Absolutely, totally cooled. I have sneaky dogs snuck in here and laid down in front of the sink without me seeing them. And again, that's probably a good 2 servings there. Okay, 2 packs of waffle fries to go with those 2 packs of French fries. And next we have, what is this? Well, how did I wrap this up? Ah, okay. This I'm going to put in quart bags instead of 1/2 gallons. And one I'm going to leave plain like this and just have it for, what do you call them? I just call them fried potatoes. I've heard them called different things like cottage fries or something. I can't remember. But they're just, one half is going to be just plain fried potatoes and the other half is going to be O'Brien potatoes. And I'll show you what makes them O'Brien. Okay. And Okay. Alright, so half of this goes in this bag. Okay. And the rest goes in the other bag. Watch me make a mess. Okay, there we go. What do you know? I didn't make a big mess. Okay, now what makes those O'Brien potatoes is, let me get a cutting board here, a little bit of bell pepper and a little bit of onion. There's onion. Okay. Okay, I'm almost done. Okay. We've got the door open. The lights are on, so of course bugs are coming in. This time I'll use my Pampered Chef knife. Okay. Don't worry, I know that looks like a lot of waste, but it's not. I'm going to go back and chop that all up in a little bit. But I'm not going to do it right now because I only need about that much of this bell pepper. But as I said, don't worry, I will go back and chop it up and put it in the refrigerator to use in the next couple of days. Get off of there. Okay. Now, these go in this bag because that's the O'Brien potatoes. Okay. And don't worry, that's going in a bag in the freezer, so I'll have it for next time I make broth, if I ever make broth again, because I've still got a bunch of it. I did actually use some of my homemade broth today for supper. And if you saw that video, let's see, how do I want to do this? Okay, I'm going to save that for later. And save that for later. And I will cut those up and refrigerate them when I do the rest of that bell pepper. Okay. Now, you know what? Hang on, I'm going to rinse off my chopper and use that. Okay, now if I'd have been thinking about it, I'd have done that with my bell pepper too. As a matter of fact, that's how I'm going to do the rest of these veggies to put up. Flying creatures? Yuck. Now I gotta go wash that off. Anyway. Okay, so there's my onion, and in it goes. There we go. Now you just mix it up real good. I might need more bell pepper. Yeah, I think a little bit more. Oh, and hey, guess what? Now I get to use my chopper. Chopper, 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 chopper. There we go. Teeny tiny little pieces. All right, that's better. All right. And that is O'Brien potatoes. And this is just plain potato chunks, but they're little tiny ones. That's how I like mine for breakfast. Little tiny chunks. Okay. So now I have, move this back over here. Off my workstation. Okay. Now now I have the large chunks, and I don't have a whole lot of those, so I think those will fit in one quart-sized bag. So I will mark this bag. And I do love these holders. They hold these bags really good. And there we go with that. That's done. All right. I think those will fit in a quart-sized bag as well. Alrighty, now we've got tater tots. Oh, and why am I flattening everything out like this? Because actually, if you flatten things out this way, it fits better in the freezer. At least I think it does. right back. Okay. Now the hash browns were made to, well, I was aiming to have them cover the whole bottom, but yeah, I didn't quite make it. But it's close. Okay. Now, I have a whole bunch of cleanup to do before I can go to bed. But that's okay. Alright, let's recap what we have here. We have 4 hash browns, which are the basis of these 4 breakfast bowls that I'm going to make for my brother. And that'll be scrambled eggs and sausage and olives. I think I have olives. Okay, scrambled eggs, sausage, olives, cheese, and gravy. A spoonful of gravy. So that's what those will be. I'm not going to do them right now, though, because you don't need to watch me scramble eggs and cook sausage. I'm sure you know how to do that. Okay. So we've got those. And then we have 1 bag of tater tots, a bag of the large potato chunks, small chunks, O'Brien potatoes, 2 bags of French fries, and 2 bags of waffle fries. We got a bunch done today. And on top of that, I made a video of tonight's dinner. Okay. Okay, I'm tired. Let me turn you over here where you can see me. Okay. I'm tired. So I'm going to put these all in the freezer. Except for the breakfast bowls. And oh, I've got dishes to do. So I'll put this away, get my dishes done, and then I'm going to head to bed. So if there's anything you would like for me to you know, make a video of, just leave me a comment. What in the world? Huh. Shadows. Weird. Anyways, leave me a comment of anything you want me to show you how to do. And if I know how to do it, I'll make you a video. Alright. See you next time. Bye.